Joining me today on NYSE Floor Talk is Cesar Carvalho. He is co-founder and CEO at Gympass. Cesar, it is wonderful to have you here. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me here, Julie.
So Cesar, let's talk about the company. Tell me about Gympass and how'd you come up with the idea?
Sure, Gympass is a technology company that's revolutionizing corporate wellness. And we're doing that by doubling the number of active people in every single company we launch as a client. Our mission is to make well-being universal, which means bringing to every single company physical activity, better nutrition, better sleep, and mindfulness, so that every single employee can find what they like. Essentially, we give employees a subscription that gives them unlimited access to all the gyms, studios, classes, personal trainers, and wellness solutions for them to use. And they normally pay a price that is up to 50% less than what a traditional gym membership would cost. We work with 15,000 clients. These are companies giving Gympass to their employees. Companies of all sizes, from 20 employees to 200,000 employees. Companies of all sectors, financial services, retail, technology, and etc. And in 11 countries, the US being our most important market.
All right, and some exciting news. You just raised an $85 million Series F round at a $2.4 billion valuation, which is up from your last round. So now tell me, why were investors attracted to put new capital into Gympass?
Yeah, there is amazing momentum going on in the business as well, but I'll start with the tailwinds of this space. Companies, CEOs, CFOs, CHROs are all looking for opportunities to save on expenses. Having employees being more productive and companies more efficient over time. And at the same time, healthcare costs are increasing substantially, so that's making things even more challenging for them. I'll mention it in a bit, but we work directly to help them solve this problem. The other thing is employees are getting more concerned about their health and well-being. They're demanding employers to provide them to help with that. And we also help work on that front directly. So on the first part, we have seen a tremendous growth this year. We have almost doubled the size of the business in the past 12 months. And Q3 that just ended was our best quarter ever in terms of new sales, new businesses, companies offering Gympass for the first time to their employees. And this is because we're actually helping every single one of those companies prove that they're saving money on healthcare, prove that an engaged employee over the medium term saves up to 35% for their companies in terms of healthcare costs. And that's motivating more companies to invest in, etc. The other interesting thing is that we're barely scratching the surface in terms of penetration in our addressable market. We see that every single company could offer Gympass to their employees worldwide. And our penetration is really super low in the markets where we operate, so there's a huge room to grow.
Okay. Now, you just announced new research, the Work-Life Wellness Report, which is a survey of 5,000 employees about their views of well-being in the workplace. So tell me, what stood out to you in this report?
Yeah, it's the second year we do this report in a row. Every year we interview a lot of people from multiple countries, and we try to understand what is the situation of work-life wellness, meaning how are they living, how are they working, and how it has improved. Three things stood out to me this time in the report. The first one is that everyone knows that there are several dimensions of well-being, and a rule of thumb is all of them matter for the experience of an employee. If one is not in place, like a domino, the others will fall. But this year we were able to assess what are the three most important dimensions of well-being that should be part of every single program of every single company, and they are emotional wellness, financial wellness, and physical wellness. These are the three most important ones. The second thing we found out that was very interesting is we normally ask how well-being compares to salary in terms of importance for every employee. And this year, almost every single employee, 93% of them, said that well-being is as important as salary. And this is up 10 percentage points from the same research last year when this number was 83%. And this is highlighting how critical well-being and wellness is becoming for employees over time. And the last part was, and this surprised me a lot, is that there is a mismatch between access to well-being and be able to have a flexible work journey And the mismatch happens between leaders, managers, and frontline workers and people working for these people. What we found in this research is that leaders tend to have more flexibility and more access to well-being resources than everyone else. So an interesting conclusion is what applies to them, like not necessarily applies to everyone else in the organization. So they need to be cognizant of that.
And tell me, what are the implications of this report for business and HR leaders?
Yeah. So on the different dimensions of well-being, like really important for companies to prioritize benefits that tackle these three dimensions. I think it's key. And if there is a single program that can like help with emotional health, with physical health, and with the financial health of their employees, the more the better here. The second one on well-being being as important as salary, I think CEOs, board members, they need to raise the importance of well-being in their conversations. I see in boardrooms people talking way more about salary increases and inflation of salary and not as much about how good the well-being of their employees is and how good well-being practices and policies are. And maybe the last part is on the mismatch between senior leaders and like people working on the front lines. I feel whenever companies, leaders are designing policies, they need to understand that what applies to them is not necessarily applicable to people working on the front lines. So if they can over-index on giving people options, empowering people to choose what works for them, and creating a culture that embraces well-being, I feel will be critical for organizations to differentiate themselves in 2024 and beyond.
All right, and as we look ahead to 2024 and beyond, tell me, what are you focused on for Gympass?
Yeah, we're really focused on capturing the full potential of the business, and that means growing again and growing more than 50% next year by signing new clients, by bringing Gympass to more and more employees in the 11 countries where we operate. And I'm specifically focused here in the US, which has been the fastest growing market for us. And we hope to continue pushing this forward, pushing this agenda to everyone.
All right, well, Cesar, it's been wonderful to talk with you. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Thank you for having me, Julie.